Driving is often second nature, commuting, running errands, or meeting friends. But in a split second, routine can turn catastrophic. On a sweltering August day in 2024, in Miami, Florida, that reality became tragically clear. At just 24 years old, Maecee Lathers appeared destined for success. She had graduated with honors from SUNY Albany in 2021, earning a degree in business administration. During her studies, she interned at RS Square Media, helping clients with digital branding. Yet, Maecee's ambitions soon shifted. 2 years earlier, she had moved from New York to Florida, determined to carve out a career as a social media influencer. Her Instagram following grew to nearly 13,000, showcasing bold images and assertive captions. She modeled occasionally, appearing as a ring girl at bare-knuckle events, and frequently posed with her spotless white luxury vehicle, a 2018 Mercedes CLA 250. But the carefully curated image collapsed on August 10, 2024, when Maecee's reckless choices culminated in devastating loss. That evening, Maecee Lathers slid behind the wheel of her white Mercedes-Benz, despite her driver's license being suspended and having recently used illicit drugs. Ignoring both legal restrictions and safety, she made her way through North Miami, unaware, or perhaps uncaring, of the tragic chain of events she was about to set in motion. Surveillance footage and vehicle data would later reveal the harrowing details. Maecee sped through a residential stretch at 57 miles per hour in a clearly posted 30 miles per hour zone. As she approached the intersection at North Miami Drive, her speed increased further, an alarming 78 miles per hour, just as the traffic light turned red. But Maecee didn't stop. At that same intersection, a black Range Rover, driven by a man in his early 20s, traveled westbound. From the opposite side, a silver Suzuki SUV carrying 3 passengers moved eastbound, obeying the signal. In mere seconds, Maecee's speeding vehicle tore through the intersection and slammed into the Range Rover. The force of the impact sent the SUV careening directly into the Suzuki. The crash was devastating. In the back seat of the Suzuki, 28-year-old Jesus Rubio was killed instantly. The driver, Abraham Molina, was found critically injured and rushed to a nearby hospital, but doctors couldn't save him. He died shortly afterward, leaving behind a teenage son and a fiancée, 26-year-old Juanita Hernandez, who survived with serious injuries including deep lacerations. She later shared, via a GoFundMe campaign, that they had simply been on their way to work that morning. The aftermath only deepened the tragedy. Surveillance footage captured Maecee attempting to flee the scene on foot, dazed and stumbling. Bystanders quickly intervened, holding her until police arrived. Officers described her as visibly disoriented and unstable. She would later admit to having consumed drugs prior to driving. Though she suffered only minor injuries herself, Maecee was taken into custody and charged with multiple offenses: vehicular homicide, reckless driving, driving on a suspended license, and fleeing the scene of a fatal crash. Once toxicology results were returned, the full scope of Maecee Lathers' recklessness became undeniable. Tests confirmed the presence of illegal substances in her system, specifically a synthetic drug often referred to as pink cocaine. With that confirmation, prosecutors escalated the charges. What began as vehicular homicide was now classified as DUI manslaughter in the deaths of 28-year-old Jesus Rubio and 42-year-old Abraham Molina. Maecee was rearrested and booked back into jail. This time, bail was set at $140,000. While investigators pieced together the aftermath, more chilling details surfaced. A nearby driver, waiting to cross the same intersection moments before the crash, told authorities he and another motorist had hesitated at their green light. That pause, just a second or two, likely saved their lives. Dashcam footage from his car captured the terrifying scene. Maecee's white Mercedes flying through the red light at a lethal speed, leaving no room for anyone in her path to react. At her September 2024 pretrial hearing, prosecutors painted a damning picture. This wasn't a tragic accident, they argued. It was a predictable consequence of a series of selfish, make dangerous decisions. Maecee knowingly drove while her license was suspended. She admitted to using drugs before getting behind the wheel, and she floored her car through a city street at nearly 80 miles per hour. The prosecutor emphasized that Maecee posed a continuing threat to public safety. The judge agreed, revoking her bail and ordering her held in custody. If convicted, she now faces up to 30 years in state prison. Her next court appearance is scheduled for October 22, 2024, with jury selection for the trial expected to begin the following month. For those left in the wreckage of her choices, the pain is permanent. Jesus Rubio and Abraham Molina are gone. Juanita Hernandez survived with deep physical wounds and emotional trauma. And a 16-year-old boy is now forced to grow up without his father. The case serves as a sobering reminder. One reckless moment on the road can destroy countless lives in an instant.